obviously Sam Darnold's a Panther, guys. You know that by now. The Jets gave up a 6th-round pick in 2021.
Yeah.
And in 2022, they gave up a 2nd and 4th-round pick. Now, the question is this good for Carolina? Is this good for New York? Let's start with the Panthers, Benaki. Obviously, Sam Darnold in his career, it's been very much up and down. Is that a product of his environment? Is that a product of Adam Gase, his coaching staff as well? In his career, he's had 45 touchdowns, 39 interceptions.
Yeah.
While he was on the Jets, his best weapon during that time was Robbie Anderson and Jamison Crowder. He's actually linking back up with Robbie Anderson. It seems to maybe be more upside in this scenario than there was in New York because Robbie isn't the only guy in this offense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there is more upside for Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers now. He does have weapons, like you said. He's reuniting with Robbie Anderson. He has DJ Moore and probably one of the best running backs in the league in Christian McCaffrey. So
We got shooters.
Yeah.
Man, this dude waking up one day, he's like, hey, by the way, your running back's not Ty Montgomery anymore. It's not Tevin Coleman. Your running back is now Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. And it's so much better for Sam Darnold. He's going to come in. He has help around him now. Mm-hmm. Even in the draft, the Panthers are in a prime position to take talent if they do take talent or whatever, if they stay in their position. But I'm excited for them, for Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers, and how this kind of affects fantasy. And there's so much more potential for there was potential for the Carolina Panthers last year. Obviously, there's always potential with CMC, but now with receivers, with a better quarterback, in my opinion, better than Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold comes in and just bumps up their value just that little bit more.
In our last mock draft 4.0, we had the Panthers selecting Kyle Pitts. And I think people would be much more comfortable with that now, knowing they have Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
This is really the best high reward, low risk scenario. Low risk, high reward, if you will. There's a reason that Sam Darnold was drafted 3rd overall in his class, above guys like Josh Allen. There's a reason. The talent is still there.
Yeah.
Was he a product of the Adam Gase environment? Who else? Who else was in that scenario? Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Right? You took Ryan Tannehill from the Dolphins. You put him in a great offense in Tennessee. Granted, the play action with Derrick Henry is a different monster, but still, Ryan Tannehill, a talented quarterback, was able to escape the ghost of Adam Gase and reinvigorate, if that's a word, his career in Tennessee, and now he's got a fat contract because of that. There's really no risk. You lose a 2nd and 4th round pick. 2nd pick is kind of a big deal, but if he is the guy, then this could either be the best trade the Carolina Panthers have ever made in the history of the franchise, or it could be a trade that just didn't work out.
Yeah, and I just want to touch back on what you said. This Ryan Tannehill leaving Adam Gase, going to another offense. It's the same thing with Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson, when he fantasy related, when he was with the Jets, he wasn't much. But now in Carolina with his last year, he did amazing. We weren't projecting him to have that kind of a year. And I see that happening with Sam Darnold. It's not somebody that we're saying you need to go out and get right now, and he's going to have a massive fantasy impact. But keep an eye out, see what happens, because maybe not this year, but in 2 to 3 years, Sam Darnold's still young.
Or maybe this year. Maybe this is in dynasty scenarios or even superflex redrafts.
Right.
Why not throw offers out there and try and get him for cheap?
Yeah.
Because he's in a really good offense, guys. This could be a really big payoff if you make a really cheap trade and you throw something out. Something else to note, the Jets, I think, ranked in the bottom 3 in protecting the quarterback last year. Panthers were more middle of the road.
Yeah.
Around 15 to 18 to 20-ish. So it is a slight upgrade there. But the bigger upgrade is obviously the offensive talent in DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and CMC. And potentially adding another weapon for Sam Darnold in the draft. If I'm Sam Darnold, I'm cheering. I'm like, hell yeah, now I can actually show who I am under head coach Matt Rule in this system. So in the fantasy football perspective, how does this change DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson and CMC for you?
Yeah, it's not a massive leap in upgrade in my rankings for Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore currently. I think what I have to do is sit down a little bit more, ponder it, have it sink in for a little bit, and see, okay, why is DJ and Robbie going to be moving up more? Why is whatever weapon they do get, for example, Kyle Pitts, does that affect Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore, or does that boost Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore? So it's kind of things like that. I do think they are brought up slightly, but it's a very, very minuscule.
Well, I think for me, it's just like the ceiling is higher because we knew exactly what we had in Teddy Bridgewater.
Right.
Okay, quarterback play, okay. And that kind of limited the ceiling of a fantasy football output for wide receivers and CMC. Not really CMC. He's the GOAT. But now with a guy like Darnold, there's still untapped potential there. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's the exciting part. Who knows what could happen? Obviously, the Jets side of this, it's pretty obvious. They're going to take Zach Wilson. Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the best of fantasy football. We got some more videos as well if you're feeling like it. And lastly, don't forget that you can support us and unlock exclusive content by signing up to our Patreon, patreon.com/fantasylandfam.